Nintendo has pretty much guaranteed that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be a massive success and the most successful follow-up system that Nintendo has ever had. Now, Nintendo hasn't always had the greatest track record when following up some of their biggest successes. The staggering difference from the Wii to the Wii U has been talked about a million times now, and even the drop from the DS to the 3DS was pretty remarkable. But I believe that Nintendo is in a place now where that should never happen again. The road is pretty much paved for the Switch 2 to be a massive success and to continue on with what the Switch started. What's up, everyone? This is Justin and welcome to Just Keep Playing. Please join me today as we talk about how Nintendo has set up the Nintendo Switch 2 to be a massive success. We are so close to finally getting some real, tangible information on Nintendo's next system. Many of us are really hopeful to see something this month, maybe, but at the very least, we know that we'll see something by the end of March next year. The Nintendo Switch 2 just might be the most anticipated follow-up system in a long time. But what are the reasons that it's set up to be so successful? Well, first, let me clarify what I mean by success. The Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't need to sell over 140 mil like the Switch has to be successful. There's a reason why only 3 systems in the history of the industry have ever done it. The PS2 at over 155 million, or 160 if you believe Jim Ryan. The DS at 154, over 154, and now the Switch currently sitting at over 143 million. But the Switch 2 can continue on from the OG Switch's success, just like how nearly every PlayStation has sold near or over 100 million, except for the PS3, which came in at around a little over 83 million. Nintendo is in a place now where they should be able to consistently sell around 100 million consoles with the Switch 2, and going forward, the Switch 3 or 4 and onward, should they continue on with the Switch concept, which I really hope they do. So first up, we have the hybrid factor, the formula of handheld plus home console. One of the biggest contributing factors to the Switch's success, and one that some aren't taking into consideration when they worry about Nintendo's apparent lack of follow-up success, is the hybrid factor. All current reports are indicating that the Switch 2 will continue on with the hybrid nature that the OG Switch started, and that is a big reason why the Switch 2 is set up for success. Throughout Nintendo's history, the combination of handheld plus home console has shown that there's at least always around 80 to 100 million Nintendo game players out there. Now, to start, things do get a little tricky when you try to figure out where the numbers come in for the NES, which sold around 62 million, the Super Nintendo at 49 million, and the Nintendo 64 at 32 million, in combination with the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, whose lifetime spanned through all 3 of those generations of Nintendo home consoles, and they combined to sell around 118 million. But Nintendo, for whatever reason, decided to lump the sales of the Game Boy and Game Boy Color together, and it's pretty hard to find individual numbers for both of those platforms. But going forward, the combination of the GameCube and the GBA gave us 103 million. The Wii plus DS was 255 million, a feat that will probably never be achieved again. The Wii U plus the 3DS, by far Nintendo's worst generation ever when it comes to sales, 89 million, and then we had the Switch at 143 million so far. So at its worst, the Nintendo Switch 2 should come in around 90 million or so, which by any metric is a success. In addition to combining their handheld and home consoles together, back in 2015, I believe, Nintendo combined all of their development resources together. So now all software development is combined together too. Back in the day, you had to pick and choose where you wanted to play your Nintendo games. A brand new 2D Metroid's coming out? Well, you had to play it on the handheld Game Boy Advance, or buy an attachment for the GameCube to play it on your TV. You're waiting around for some cool games to finally come out on the Wii U? Well, in the meantime, the 3DS is drowning in game after game with Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Kid Icarus, Zelda, and on and on and on. Now, with the Switch, you want Fire Emblem? Boom, here you go. You want 2D Metroid? Boom, here you go. Metroid Prime? No problem. Massive 3D Zelda? I got you. Oh, you want top-down 2D Zelda 2? I got you there. I think you're getting the point. The combination of games that would traditionally release on their home console or their handheld systems, now all in one place, has left Switch fans drowning in games and more exclusives than ever before. Throughout the Switch generation, we've been getting at least 1 to 2 exclusive games every month or so. And that should continue on with the Switch 2. Now, because of the complexity of more powerful hardware, development time will increase for the Switch 2. So maybe we don't get a brand new exclusive game every month, but the Switch 2 should still continue to receive more brand new exclusive games on a yearly basis than what we've seen with the PS5 and the Xbox Series throughout their entire lifetime. This unprecedented level of output has led to the smoothest transition from one console to the next in Nintendo's history. While yes, this has been a transitional year for Nintendo, this year has been a lot better than some are giving it credit for. Nintendo's lineup this year has been pretty good, all things considered. Clearly, all of their big guns are knee-deep in developing their games for Switch 2. But Nintendo has managed this year to perfection with the help of their partners. We got games like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, one of the most requested remakes from Nintendo fans. We got a brand new Famicom Detective Club with Emio, the Masked Man, which many have been saying is one of the best visual novels that they've ever played. We just got a brand new top-down Zelda, which in my book has been awesome. We've got the new Mario and Luigi Brothership coming out. The new Mario Party looks like the best Mario Party like ever. And the third party and indie support has been the best that Nintendo has ever seen this late into a system's lifespan. We've got, this year we got Unicorn Overlord, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, The Plucky Squire, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. You got Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake coming up soon. There's just been a lot of games to play for Switch fans, and that has led to the Nintendo Switch still having a very active player base of over 100 million players. And then there's already a pretty good lineup of games heading into 2025. We already know that we have Metroid Prime 4 Beyond to look forward to, Pokemon Legends ZA, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, even some third-party games with the Trails remake, the next Rune Factory, and the new Atelier game. And all of these games are keeping their current Switch base engaged, satisfied, and happy, making the transition to the Switch 2 the smoothest landing that Nintendo could have ever possibly hoped to have, as long as they don't fumble the ball. And then you have Nintendo's 3-pillar strategy, which has led to their IP being more popular than they've ever been before. Nintendo has always wanted a 3-pillar strategy, and now they finally have the 3-pillar strategy that they've been wanting since they tried to act like the DS wasn't replacing the Game Boy Advance. Back in the day, Nintendo claimed that the DS was a part of their 3-pillar strategy to go along with the Wii and the GBA, and that it wasn't supposed to replace the GBA. But once the DS took off and proved to be a massive success, they dropped the GBA like a bad habit. Now that 3-pillar strategy has evolved to include their core pillar of video games and video game consoles, followed up by merchandising and then experiential. With things like the Mario movie, Legos, the upcoming Zelda movie, the theme parks with Super Nintendo World, the Nintendo stores, and now the brand new museum, they are in that cultural zeitgeist more than ever, and that will only benefit and has benefited their console and video game sales. And now some of their franchises are more mainstream than they've ever been before. With all of these factors combined, the hybrid factor, the combining of their development resources, having the smoothest transition in Nintendo's history, and the complete evolution of their three-pillar strategy, the foundation has been set for the Nintendo Switch 2 to be a massive success. But do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think the Nintendo Switch 2 will continue on with the success that the Nintendo Switch laid? Or do you think that they might somehow fumble the bag? Let me know. And for more Nintendo gaming and Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 conversation, please hit that like and subscribe button. And check out this video right here on what I think will be the launch games for the Nintendo Switch 2. And until next time, I'll see you later. Have a good one.